Hi, this is Trevor, and welcome back to our weekly Tarot Card Challenge. Today is Saturday, December the 20th, 2014. It's the eve of the solstice. The days are going to start getting longer, and I find this time of year, with the holidays coming up, to be such a wonderful time of reflection. It also tends to be a busy time for readers. Many people are looking ahead at the new year, being a little introspective, and for many, a reading is part of the holiday tradition. I remember my mother and my aunts, after dinner was cleared away, sitting around and reading each other's tea leaves. So if you're thinking about a reading, there's information about how to book an appointment with me in person, or the feature of being available over Skype. And all of that information and more is on my website at trevorsense.com. That's also where you'll find a listing for these tarot videos, because they're done randomly. I never know what the card of the week is going to be until we get to it, but the listings there, put them in an order like a table of contents. So I encourage you to check that out. I'm shuffling the cards. We're soon to find out what our card of the week is. And again, I cut them, and it is the Five of Swords. Well, fives oftentimes have to do with some disruption. They are where there is some elements of friction and conflict that can be going on. And swords are the suit that have to do with conflict. Now, we tend to think of swords on the surface as being kind of negative. Nobody likes battles. But actually, conflict is a healthy part of any relationship. There's going to be points where you have differences. And whether that's in work or in personal relationships, conflicts are an opportunity to kind of look at where things stand, what boundaries need to be established. Now, in the Five of Swords, we see some interesting things in the illustration. So let's just take a look at how in the Rider deck this is depicted. We see this fellow who's gathering up the swords and two figures that are walking away. And the fellow who's gathering up the swords, he's kind of smirking. Well, he's the arms maker. He's the guy who profits from conflict. There really hasn't exactly been a winner here other than the guy who makes the swords. So this is a card that can sometimes talk about conflicts that aren't exactly really getting to the heart of issues. Sometimes there's not a clear and easy resolution. Sometimes there's not a sense of who's right, who's wrong. So it's a challenging card when it comes up in a reading. We have to look at the other elements that are in play around it. I think sometimes, especially around this time of year, we're carrying around a lot of tension. And it may be that we're managing pretty well with 9 different things, but it's the 10th thing that comes along that sometimes brings some of that stuff forward. I'm sure you've often seen, especially in areas of very instant communication, like Facebook or sometimes in texts and things of that nature, something can trigger a bit of a response. Something kind of rubs us the wrong way, and there's a reaction. Well, the Five of Swords can sometimes be an indication that there's conflict going on, but we're not really getting at the real issue. You know, if you're losing your temper because somebody didn't put their shoes on the mat, or darn it all, they've left a muffin on top of my desk. What's the real conflict? Really, where are we maybe needing to kind of stand back and look at what may be kind of going on at another level? It's challenging for me. I happen to be an Aries, and that's a sign that's known for its temper. And watching reactions rather than responses can be really important. So sometimes when conflict arises, it's challenging to kind of let what needs to be said in the immediate situation go on, but then to stand back and to say, I'll think about this. And sometimes to say to that person who's being critical, is there anything else? To kind of allow a door to be open in terms of some better understanding, rather than waiting for things to get to that snapping point. So this is a challenging card, and we are moving through a bit of a challenging season for some. But as the holidays unfold, I wish everyone a sense of peace. the opportunity to be close with those who are near and dear, to reach out to one another, and to maybe put conflicts aside for the moment. I had to learn in one situation where I'd had a difficult argument with a friend that sometimes you can't just patch things up right away. But we can say, this concerns me. I hope we have a chance to be able to work this through. And then, as things are somewhat calmer, to be able to kind of look at what needs to be put into a bit of a different order. So again, just some random thoughts, and I wish everyone a beautiful holiday season. Merry Christmas, if that's what you're into. Happy Hanukkah, happy solstice. There's so many things that have to do with this being a time where the light is turning around, where we are kind of moving into new beginnings. So all the very best for you. And I look forward to seeing you next week. It will be our last post for 2014, and maybe some thoughts and insights for what 2015 holds in store for all of us. Take care, and happy holidays to you all.